Picture.
Oh, you guys are just great. Look at this. The Bokashi family.
He likes to sprinkle.
Does he like to sprinkle?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
So Dexter helps.
He's very gentle. He takes
Yes.
a little bit.
He just gets upset when you put it away because when the sprinkling's done, it's not fun.
Oh, fun. So which one of you guys does the most of this? It's
Yes.
Yes?
I think I do most of it, though.
But Dawn takes care of the dirty part with the stirring.
I do the stirring.
Yeah.
And deal with some of the moisture issues.
Yes.
Well, every once in a while you take the lid off and there's a bit of extra moisture you gotta wipe up. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, condensation on the lid. But once we got used to that, then there's a way of taking it off where you drain right back into the bucket.
I think you're just not as graceful at executing household duties because I don't seem to ever have that problem. But it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I usually drain the tea and then water the plants, and then and I do the dump and the sprinkle, and that's about it.
And you've upgraded now. One of these was provided as a part of this experiment down there, and you have upgraded to a 2-bucket system now.
Yes.
So you leave one. Tell me what happens when you fill one up. What do you do?
Well, it filled up a lot quicker than I thought it would, so it just sat there, and then I had no place to put my new scraps, so I ordered I ordered it, and then I didn't go pick it up for a long time, so we had to dump our first batch. But now we can always have one that's processing while we fill up the second one, and then we can go back and forth.
So what did you think, if anything, when you started this before you got to know Bokashi? And based on, what you've learned now, did you have any preconceptions or ideas of how you thought it might be?
Well, I was curious about what, how true the low odor claims were. And at first, I wasn't sure what to make of it. But then, it has a very, very mild odor. And it's, someone described it as pickling. Yeah. And that's really what it smells like. So it's, when you take the lid off, you smell it for a bit, you seal it up again, and then it goes right away. So it hasn't affected indoor air quality or anything, and that seems to be people's usual hesitation hearing about it, is that it's going to smell bad, but that hasn't been an issue, and everything washes down after you're stirring, plates, whatever. It's everything cleans up nicely, so it hasn't made any kind of mess in the house, which is good.
So how much would you say this has integrated into your daily routine? How hard was it to, was it a big change to start putting your scraps in a bowl and dumping in the Bokashi, or was it just like an easy transition? Or
no, I used to always do my scraps into a bowl anyways, but I used to have it into a bowl usually lined with a plastic bag from the produce section, and then I would tie it up and toss it. And but now I just put it straight into the bowl, and I actually just let it sit out for a couple of days, and then when the bowl is full, I dump it in.
Dump it in?
I think we're pretty busy, so we're into doing things that are seamless, and it's pretty easy because if you're making the scraps anyways, throwing them in the garbage as opposed to throwing them in here is really not all that different. Did you get little one eye?
Yeah. Has Dougal there shown any interest in this as a dog? Has he shown any interest in the smell or tried to get into it, or?
When the lid's off, well, there he's not interested today, but
yeah.
he'll kind of poke his nose in.
Acidic to the point, or kind of pickly to the point where he doesn't feel the need to eat it. And I hear that's what's good about putting it into your backyard compost too. It's not really micey because it's so acidic.
That's great. So comparing this to like blue box recycling, what sort of a difficulty level would you use to compare different green things, like between sorting and putting out your blue bins and doing this, as far as integrating it into your life?
I think it's just waste streaming in the household, and because we do recycling ourselves and divert recyclables into a blue bag, it's a similar activity.
I find it more straightforward. It's a similar activity, but I find it more straightforward because you're creating your compost that you can use to feed the other things around your house and or your garden. But Don has a very, bottles go here, and then, regular recycle goes there, and then there's like the paper that needs to be shredded, and then the eco station stuff. And so it's good to be good about all of that, but then you have to hoard all these supplies until you're ready to make a run. Whereas this, you can just dump it.
And this is use it where you make it as well. It just doesn't have to go anywhere either, so which is kind of nice. So having gone through all this, what sort of general encouragements or observations have you guys had as a family doing this kind of stuff with busy lifestyles? Has this been overall positive? Any specific observations?
Well, one I think is that the general black bag garbage doesn't smell as bad when we're doing this because there's less organics in there breaking down, so that can last longer, and just that's where you get the odors in is from
Hi.
Yeah. So I think it's been good for the condition of waste in the whole house, actually. The one other thing I think is it's just interesting to be a little bit more aware of how much waste we are generating, and you see it when you have all of the organics in a bowl there, and you see how quickly you can fill up one of these. It makes us aware, something that we're not usually aware of unless you stop and pay attention to it, which is how much waste you are generating as a household. So that was a useful experience just in passing.
How was your learning curve like? Any experiences that made you nervous or unsure, or anything else like that went on that may or may not have been good or bad or whatever else? Like, how hard was it to get into?
I felt discouraged that I didn't have tea right away, but since I wrote about it, everyone started talking to me about it and commenting that you just need to wait. And it's true. You just wait long enough and the tea will come. And that was good. I like the tea. The tea has made my plants not die. My plants have new growth. They have babies. The plants are making babies. And now I feel, now that I have this magic tea, I feel confident that I can make other things grow because I'm generally neglectful of such things. So I even have a bunch of babies on the sill that are I'm hoping that will turn into foods that we can eat.
So this has increased your sort of eco chic level, sort of. You're like elite level 70 green people now.
Well, we were thinking about
we always wanted to do it.
We were thinking about growing some more of our own food on site here because we've got great access
to this facilitated you sort of.
Yes.
Well, in a way it jump-started it because it gave us some homegrown compost to work with, or homegrown fertilizer to work with in the form of the tea. So once we saw the effect that it had on the houseplants, it followed that, okay, well that's one less barrier to us having success with trying to grow some vegetables to eat.
So it would be like a gateway activity kind of thing almost. You get started here and then you kind of move on to other perhaps more ambitious projects and efforts.
Well, we'll see how the veggies fare. So we tried that a couple of years ago and it went okay, but we were a bit neglectful of them. But if we pay a little bit more attention this year and have the added oomph of the Bokashi tea, then hopefully we'll be dining into the fall on excellent home produce.
Yeah, that's cool. So as a sort of a traditional home type area, you got a single family dwelling, garage, a little family going on here, busy professional type grown-ups, and perhaps a little more a green lifestyle than some, but that sort of level of activity. You'd say that this composting technology integrates well and sort of becomes a nice part of your lifestyle pretty easily?
Yeah.
It's Bokashi.
You guys are Bokashi. You're not composting. You're not composting. You're Bokashiing.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's pretty easy. If it wasn't straightforward, I don't think we'd do it. So we don't go particularly out of our way to like prove points or anything. We do. If it's easy, we'll do it.
I think the other neat thing is that it's been a bit of a discussion piece. You have one of these in your kitchen, and
Yeah.
you have people over, and you say, "What is that?"
At
and
your
then you
dinner
can talk to them
parties,
about
people
it.
like have their heads in here. And they're like, they like actually. It's like testing the bouquet of wine. Everyone wants to sample the bouquet of the Bokashi.
Yeah. So what types of food do you throw in here exactly? As far as you guys go, if you put in stuff that you normally wouldn't compost. You have any bones, meats, cheeses, dairies, anything else like that, or tea bags?
We give the bones to Dougal.
Oh, doggy eats the bones. Yeah. He's helping.
He's helping Dougal. Some Dougal hairs have
He
gone
deposits them in turn in the backyard.
Yes, and then, but mostly fruits and veg.
Yeah. And then we tried putting coffee grounds in there from the espresso machine, but I think we put too many in the first go round, so we're gonna try to be a bit spared.
I'm still putting them in, but it's not as epic as it once was.
Ah, yes. Very good. So overall, you guys have had a good time, and you had a wonderful experience.
We intend to continue Bokashi.
And thanks for inviting us to do it. We were just waiting for the perfect excuse, so this was the perfect excuse.
That's awesome. Thank you guys very much. Bye, Dexter.
Dexter, bye.
Bye. Oh, now he's shy.
He waves.
He waves.
Sometimes.